how do you afford these treatments? Fundraising is such a huge part of it. So yeah, if you could just say.
Well, I think like the foundational piece for most people is, I recently realized that I didn't realize this, that I did this while I was sick, but it was my full-time job while I was sick. Like, I realize now I put in hours upon hours upon hours. In fact, I know for a fact I've sent over 3,000 text messages asking for money, and at least 500 emails, and at least 500 private Facebook messages, and at least another 500 Facebook posts in the last 15 months.
Wow.
Like, I worked at it, but I could do it from a recliner. I could do it from being bedridden. It was all on my phone, right?
Yeah.
And so that was my full-time job because I couldn't work. We couldn't be in real estate. I needed her at my side 24/7. There was a 8-month stretch, and a lot of people were in the same boat. But anyway, the foundational piece that causes so many people to struggle is, well, number one, they think money is the reason why they're not getting better, but actually limiting beliefs is the reason why they don't raise any money, which is then also contributing to why they're not getting better. And so the foundational piece is, a lot of people were taught that it was wrong to ask for help. A lot of people are taught even in business, like you play hurt and you just find a way, and they say things like, if it is to be, it's up to me. And then I had a friend teach me something that changed my life, and she said, well, what if it's more like, if it is to be, it's Jesus in me? What if instead of like putting all this pressure on me, what if it opens up the opportunity for others to come alongside us? And so there's people that think it's wrong to ask. There's people who are worried about what people are going to think. Then there's people who are going to feel guilty or shameful if they might use the money in a way that someone could criticize, okay? Or there's people that might get mad at them, right? And I would say with us being public, like the most criticism we got was around fundraising. I mean, well, I can't even say because my children are here. I can't even say some of the responses we got. Like, you just can't even imagine someone could even type it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because I was asking, like, I didn't put a gun to anybody's head, right? You know what I mean? And I mean, there's Kickstarters and GoFundMes for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Way less stuff than your life being on the line. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, nobody seems to be getting bent out of shape about that, you know? And so I think it's first an internal thing. It's, am I worthy? And I've found that the statement that you're more blessed to give than receive, I don't think that's true. I think it's just as much of a blessing to receive when you need help as it is to give. There's a season for both.
Right.
I don't think it's one over the other. There's a time where it is so amazing to give and be generous and help others. And there's also a time where I'm worthy, I'm sick, I need help. And a lot of people think, well, but I did this to myself and I got myself in the mess, so how could I ask anybody to help me? And I just really find that really sad. Like, I wonder how many people have lost their life simply because they couldn't get over their internal hang-up of raising money. And I just refuse to let any responses, criticism, anything stop me. Now, once you kind of work through that, then of course there's practical tips, you know, like I was taught in sales and marketing and just with advertising and everything that it takes 37 impressions for us as humans to finally accept something like, oh, I need to pay attention to that.
Wow.
So you can't just post one time or send one text or one email and then be frustrated. The other thing is that I believe expectations kills intimacy. Well, I want to have friends that I can feel intimate. And I'm not talking about, you know, like in a marriage, but I mean like just closeness and connection. Well, I can't have an expectation of you to give to me. And if I do, it's going to kill our friendship, our intimacy.
Right.
So I just kept putting it out there in the universe. I just kept believing and trusting. They edit it. I can talk as long as I want. They can take out whatever they don't want. You know what I mean? I've done this. Like, yeah.
Meet Caroline.
There you go. What was I saying? It's really good.
Putting it out into the universe.
Like, I know for a fact I have someone that I would consider a friend that is really well off, and I know they have never given one red cent. And I'm not saying that because I like them. I have no problem with that. I believe that I gave people the freedom to say no, and that at the exact same time, that gave them the freedom to say yes.
Right.
And I really worked in my heart to believe that it was really okay, even if they didn't do it and they had the money. Like, if you just don't want to, like,
Sure.
aren't they got to be free to say no. And if they don't want to, or they can't, or they have other things that their money's already committed to, or whatever, I couldn't ever think that, well, now I'm screwed because so-and-so didn't give, or now it's not going to work, or now I'm not going to get the treatment I need. I just kept trusting and believing no matter what. And if I wasn't getting enough response, then I just figured enough people hadn't seen it. And there's 7 billion people on the planet with the internet. There's got to be a way to... I just figured I got to expose more people. And I had a person on my Facebook that I've never met in person. They never knew me at all prior to cancer. They somehow saw a video of mine that went viral. They started following my story, and they donated $34,000 to me and my family.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Okay? We've had someone anonymously send a $20,000 check.
That is so amazing.
Okay? And, you know, we have really been, it's interesting you asked me to do this, because we have been, I mean, lambasted in the last 24 hours on Facebook. I mean, stuff you have to delete. People...
In the past day?
Oh my God, it's unbelievable, because people are now accusing us of over fundraising, which we haven't asked for any money in like 90 days, right? Because now we're traveling.
Oh
and we're
my
doing
goodness.
trips. I mean, it's just, it's like, do people have anything else better to do
No.
than just sit around? And you know why they pick everybody else's life apart? Because they pick their own life apart.
Right.
And they're so self-critical and so self-condemning that then they start extending that out and doing it to others. Taking too
All right.
long. Okay, see you later.
No,
My
that
kids
was
say
great
it is
though.
done, it's over.
That was great.
Minions are back on.
The fundraising advice is huge because, I mean, so many people have asked us, like, how do you afford to do all of these treatments? And the number one thing is fundraising and putting your story out there, because people, I feel that people want to help, but they need to know and get to know you through your story and putting yourself out there.
My kids want
Right?
to camera me.
This is Atlanta, Carolyn, Arthur, Addison, Ryan, all just amazing people. So hopefully you guys got some great fundraising tips there.
Make it look at the puppy.
And Batman.
It's Batman.